to vote for.
Well, I'm sure he had been telling her several times, which she could probably care less, so. So we'll send our spine tall, let our shoulders, our hips relax. Picking up the ribs as we inhale, relax the shoulders and hips as we exhale. Try that a few times. Gonna lengthen spine, relax spine. Then we'll start to inhale and press the belly out. And exhale, pull the belly in to the lower back. Feel that chest opening and the ribs relaxing. We'll feel just a moment to expand into our lungs. And with the top of the head reaching to the sky, we're going to relax one hand by our hip. I'm going to send the other hand rolling the shoulder in. The back of the hand can rest at the hip, or you can reach towards that rested hand, arm by the hip. And then you're going to lean the ear towards the rested arm hand, so the bent elbow and the top of the head are kind of pulling in opposite directions. And you feel a little deeper stretch in the side of our neck as we stretch here for a couple of breaths. And then we'll send the spine tall, trade sides, so the other hand rests at the hip. You can roll the other arm in or reach it towards the arm of the rested hand, and then lifting tall, ear reaches towards the rested hand, and this bent knee arm and the top of the head kind of find a little stretch away from each other as we breathe. And we'll come back to the center and feel a little movement with our shoulder blades sliding up and down. With our shoulders resting, let's open the palms. As we inhale, draw the chin and the fingertips towards the sky. As we exhale, rest the chin and the thumbs down to the heart. And inhaling, reaching open. Exhaling, resting down. I need one more breath. Let's inhale, reach it tall. Exhaling, relaxing down. As our tailbone rests, when I send one arm up and just roll it a few times. Rolling through our wrist, our elbow, our shoulders. Picking up the ribs, feel the top of the head and the tailbone pull away from each other, and then start to lean to a diagonal, stretching through the top of the head, through the tailbone. And we can stay here. You can guide the chin towards the ground, and maybe looking neutral, and then lifting the chin towards the sky. And we'll use the top arm to pull us back to neutral. Let's trade. So the other arm stretches to the sky. Find that length. Top of the head, tailbone, fingers reaching tall, and hinge over. Feel that diagonal, lengthening tailbone through the fingertips. Then we'll gaze towards the ground, send our chin with it, into neutral, and then chin and gaze up towards the top arm. Using that top arm to pick us up. Let's inhale, both arms up to the sky. Lifting as tall as available, and then feel the ribs exhaling over to one side. Rest the hands where it's comfortable. Feel a few reaching breaths as we lift and relax through the ribs, through the lower back, and breathe. Let's feel neutral. Inhaling, stretch your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, turning the ribs to the other side. Resting the hands where we feel comfortable. Feeling lift and release as we breathe. Just a few relaxing breaths. Find neutral, inhaling, fingertips towards the sky, letting our exhale relax our thumbs to the heart. Let's find in all fours. Let our wrist relax underneath the shoulders, our knees relax underneath the hips, and then we're going to take just a moment for a little different flow. So our inhale pushes the heart forward, lift through the lower belly. Our exhale pulls the tailbone and the hips towards the heels, but try not to move the hands. So we're inhaling, pull the belly in, pushing the heart forward. Exhale, lifting the ribs and sinking the hips back. We'll just do a few more of these. Inhaling, flowing the heart forward. Exhale, folding our hips towards our heels. 2 more breaths as we inhale, heart forward, support the lower back. And exhale, sink it back. Let's try one more. Inhale, opening. Exhale, sinking. Then we'll return our bodies to that all fours option. Walking our fingertips out a little further from the body. With our inhale, sliding the shoulders over the wrist into this kneeling plank. And then as we exhale, the tailbone comes back a bit, and the collarbone presses towards the ground, and we feel that stretch in the back of the shoulders as we breathe. Just a moment to relax into the breath. Now we are welcome to stay, or we can flow that with our breath, inhaling towards our kneeling plank, exhaling towards this puppy pose. We'll get just a little stretch as we reach through our breath. As our hips reach back, we're going to lift up our chest and walk our hands towards our knees and lift our hands up towards the side of our hips. Take a moment to squeeze in and up. Lower belly kicks in, shoulders relax. Then we'll slide the thumbs in so the back of the hands rest at the lower back. And take a moment to inhale and pull the heart towards the sky. As we exhale, tailbone comes back and we're going to gaze to the right, letting that left ear reach towards the ground. And then as we inhale, we're going to pick up the right arm and pull it up to the sky, chin stretches with us. As we exhale, start to take the right ear towards the ground, let the shoulders, side of the head release. And then as we inhale, pull the left arm up to the sky and open the chest. And we'll just do that a few more times. So we're going to exhale forward, sending the other ear towards the ground. And then inhale, the other arm up towards the sky. Exhaling, reaching the ear towards the other side. Inhaling the other arm up. Now from here, we're going to send both arms up to the sky, lifting the lungs on the inhale. So we exhale, come neutral, rolling the thumbs in the back of the hands to the lower back. And then inhale, pull the palms back up to the sky, lift the chest. Do that a couple more times. Exhale, folding, rolling the hands back. Inhale, lifting, pulling the arms up. Do one more. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lifting. Now we're going to end up resting our fingertips back underneath our shoulders for all fours. Feel a little flowing movement as we send our shoulders towards our hips on one side, shoulders towards the hips on the other side, feeling the rib cage folding. So we stretch side to side and continue to breathe. Maybe one more each side. And then from here we can fold into child's pose or ground the fingertips, tuck the toes and send the tailbone towards the sky into our bodies. Downward dog, maybe knees bent, maybe pedaling out the feet, maybe hanging out with legs straight. And take just a moment to breathe. Get a few stretching breaths. And helping our feet towards our hands, finding our bodies forward fold, fingertips to the ground, shins or thighs. Feel the head and neck relax with gravity. As you feel the lower belly kick in, send the top of the head in line with the tailbone as we lift halfway tall. Pushing through the heels. Let's inhale all the way tall. Sending one arm a little bit taller, the other arm a little bit taller. Feeling that stretch and reach side to side. We'll try one more each side. As we even out, lifting the lungs. Exhale, relax the hands onto our hips. We're going to just relax the palms at the thighs. Feel the shoulders relaxing back. We'll inhale and lift the collarbone. As we exhale, hinge forward, slide the fingertips where our body feels like stretching. With our inhale, slide the arms up as we lift up halfway. Exhale, sliding back into the forward fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Do one more of these. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, relaxing. Resting through the shoulders, the ribs, the lower back. Knees can be bent or legs straight, whichever works best on our body at the moment. As we feel that deep bend in the knees, we'll slide the right knee back behind us, keeping the left heel underneath the left knee. Arms can be on either side or the inside of our front leg as we send our hips and heart forward with our inhale. We can stay. Or exhale, hips and thighs back. We can stay or flow with the breath. Inhaling towards the lunge. Exhaling towards the half pyramid, allowing our bodies to find any range of motion, any pace of movement as we we feel just a little stretch into our breath. As our hips reach back, maybe our fingertips slide underneath our shoulders. So we feel a neutral spine, drawing the top of the head away from the tailbone. We can stay neutral spine, or we can start to gaze to one side, taking our chin with us. Then back to neutral, we can gaze towards the other side, taking our chin with us. As we find neutral, we can inhale and push the collarbone and the chin forward. As we exhale, tucking the chin in and relaxing the shoulders. Let our inhale pull our hips and our heart back into our lunge, releasing back into our child's pose of choice. Maybe just a moment of rest and stillness. Maybe both arms travel to the left, opening up the side body and breathe. We can stay on this side, or we can reach over towards the other side, feeling that stretch through our side body, resting into our breath. Finding neutral, relaxing the shoulders. Sending the right toes forward, finding our lunge, sending the heel under the knee, arms where we feel comfortable, flowing our hips and our heart forward as we inhale, releasing our hips and thighs back as we exhale, maybe flow through the breath, inhaling towards the lunge, exhaling towards that pyramid, feeling that reach and relaxation into our breath. And maybe we stay with our hips back, resting our fingertips under the shoulders, supporting our tall neutral spine. We can stay with the top of the head lengthening from the tailbone. We can gaze and take our chin to one side. Feeling neutral, maybe gazing, taking our chin to the other side. Finding neutral. Inhaling, collarbone and chin pressing forward. Exhaling, chin and ribs folding in. And then we'll inhale, return into our lunge, sliding our back toes to meet the front toes. Any variation of forward fold, fingertips on the floor, pushing our thighs, maybe our head and neck flows a little up and down, maybe a little side to side, maybe a little up and down again. As we inhale, let's lift up halfway. Pushing through the heels, inhaling all the way, fingertips towards the sky, exhaling, thumbs into the heart. From here, we're going to step wide. Option go sideways on our mat. Feeling toes draw towards the corners, fingertips draw towards the corners. Exhaling, tailbone back, elbows in. Inhale, reaching out. Exhaling, folding in. Inhaling, reaching out. Do a couple more breaths. Folding, reaching, folding, and reaching. Now we're going to rest our hands by our side, picking up the toes, bringing them parallel. You can stay arms to the side, or hands can rest at the hips. We're going to feel the lungs lift open on the inhale. Exhale, coming just halfway. Inhale, flowing open. Exhaling, halfway. Try one more breath here. Inhale, opening. Exhale, hinging. Now as we pull the lower belly in, our fingertips can rest under the shoulders if that's available. Bending the knees is always available. We can take fingertips or palms of one hand under the heart and twist, reaching the other fingertips to the sky. You can look up at the top arm, or to the side, or to the ground. And as we're ready, we'll trade, sending the other palm or fingertips under the heart, twisting the ribs to send the other arm up to the sky. We can look up at the top hand, or to the side, or to the bottom hand, and let both hands rest towards the ground or the thighs or the hips. Feel a place that our shoulders, head and neck can relax with gravity. Maybe a little flowing movement with our head up and down, a little bit more space for a little bit more movement if that's feeling comfortable today. Maybe a little bit of release side to side. Maybe a little up and down again. With that deep bend in our knees, sending our palms up the legs, lifting our spine tall. We're going to reach our feet back to the front of our mat, heels resting, heart draws tall in the inhale. Exhale, big swan back down. Pulling the left toes behind us, finding our body's version of lunge. Option to twist towards the front thigh. And And then anytime we're ready, returning to child's pose or downward dog. Again, stay for a moment, feeling just a few resting breaths. And then helping our left foot find its way into our body's lunge, flattening up or down. Maybe we're twisting towards the front thigh. And then returning, child's pose or downward dog. Maybe a little bit of movement in our legs in downward dog or enjoying our body's resting space. Option for a three-legged dog with our right toes traveling up to the sky, helping the right foot find its way into our lunge. As we ground our back heel, opening into our body's warrior two, fingers reaching towards the feet, front outer hip guiding that front thigh towards the heel, feeling stability. With our exhales, relaxing our fingertips towards the ground and stretch the front leg towards straight. And then our inhales, pull the front knee back to the toes, fingertips reaching back out to our side. And you can flow just a few times, stretching forward, relaxing the shoulders. And we feel that reach and release as our body breathes. Now the next time our arms extend from our shoulders, squeezing the front thigh to extend the front leg as far as our joints feel stable, picking up the ribs as we inhale and feeling that front side body from the top of the head through the tailbone, stretching towards the front leg. So our fingertips can relax on the thigh, maybe the back of the hand presses in to the calf, and we're going to feel the top arm pull to the sky, so we think about our collarbone and our shoulders pulling in opposite directions. From here, we're sending our chin towards the top arm, looking up at the thumb. And as we exhale, we're going to let the top arm reach over the head as the chin looks down at the front toes. And then we'll inhale, pull the fingertips back tall, the gaze back up to the thumb. And then exhale, arm over the head, gazing back towards the front toes. Try a couple more. Inhale, lengthening out. Exhale, releasing in. One more. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, resting. Let's deeply bend that front knee, returning our hands into our lunge. Feeling that twist if you like, ribs towards the front thigh. And then returning to child's pose or downward dog. Maybe enjoying a moment of stillness and relaxation. Maybe finding plank or kneeling plank, lifting the collarbone, ribs, the belly, feeling a moment of strength. So we stretch the top of the head away from the tailbone or the heels and breathe. Anytime our body finds that place of rest, take a couple of breaths, resting into our exhales. And maybe traveling those left toes towards the sky to our body's three-legged dog, helping our left heel find its way under the knee and opening into our warrior two. Fingers reaching towards the feet. Front outer hip kicking in, drawing that knee towards the toe, feeling that stability in our legs. Feel the inner thighs lengthen as the fingertips rest towards the ground. Feel the fingertips reaching wide as the front outer thigh guides the knee back towards the heel. And we find that little flowing movement, reaching out and releasing down. Just a couple more breaths. Stretching and feeling that strength through the front thigh. As we return to the warrior two, fingers extending from our shoulders, squeeze through that inner thigh, extending the front leg towards straight where our joints are feeling pretty stable today. Picking up the ribs on the inhale, sending that tall spine from the tailbone through the top of the head towards the front leg. Fingertips can relax on the thigh. The back of the hand can push into the thigh or the calf, try not to add pressure into our joints. This back arm can extend towards the ceiling, thinking about the collarbone and the shoulders stretching wide. We have to use some of these oblique muscles to keep our spine stable. And we're going to gaze up to the top thumb. It also helps to create a little better alignment. And then as we gaze the chin to the front toe, the arm can reach over the head. And we'll inhale, top arm and gaze up to the sky. Exhaling, top arm and gaze towards the front leg. We'll do just a couple more movements. Opening and releasing. Opening and releasing. Let's deeply bend the front knee, traveling our fingertips to the ground, finding our lunge of choice. Option to twist towards the front thigh, and then releasing, finding our child's pose or downward dog, enjoying a moment of stillness and rest for a few breaths. If you're in downward dog, you're welcome to bend the elbows and push through the forearms and let the head hang as you lift the collarbone. Feel a little different stretch in your neck and head. That's optional. Let's take a few resting breaths here. And then anywhere we're at, helping our bodies return to our forward fold. Fingertips resting on the ground, or the shins, or the thighs. Feeling gravity resting the top of the head, the neck in stillness, or maybe adding that little movement up and down, maybe a little bit of movement side to side. Maybe a little bit of movement up and down again. With our inhale, pulling our ribs up halfway, finding length through the back of the head, the back of the hips, pushing through our heels, inhaling fingertips towards the sky, releasing the arms, adding our little swaying movement, feeling shoulders relaxing with gravity as our ribs just have a little flow side to side and breathe. Let's find a place for balancing, grounding through one foot, thigh engaged, knee joint softens. The other thigh can be forward, or maybe the outer hip opens to the side. Let's squeeze it in, lift it up, ground into our palms, finding our body's focal point. So we can continue here as we feel stability in the standing leg. Our bent knee toe can float, or maybe our foot feels the calf or the inner thigh. Continuing, squeezing our thing to the middle of the body with the palms at the heart, or the arms to the side, or the fingers towards the sky. Taking a moment to breathe. Just feeling a few resting exhales wherever our body gives us today as we stretch and release into our breath. Release the side, relaxing through our joints. As we're ready to trade legs, the other heel feels the ground, thigh engaged, knee joint softens, the other thigh forward, or maybe the outer hip opens. Let's squeeze it in, lift it up, feeling our grounding, creating our focal point, toes staying or floating, foot can rest inside the leg anywhere. We're avoiding pressure on our joints. Everything squeezing to the line with the palms at the heart, or relaxing, or reaching out, or towards the sky. Anywhere along the way, our bodies feel pretty stable. Focusing on that releasing breath. toes back. Just a few maybe different arm options depending on how your shoulders feel. Palms can be at the heart, arms can be at the side. We can return the back of the hands to the lower back, or you can feel maybe a little reverse namaste or interlacing fingers and squeezing those shoulder blades together. So wherever we're feeling stable, pull through the lower belly, ground through the front foot, float the toes or actively stretch through the back of the heel, the back of the head. Continuing in the diagonal line or hinging towards our parallel option. Continuing to breathe. Just a few resting breaths. Whenever we're ready, finding our tough spine, resting our joints. Let's straight out our legs. The other foot forward, the other foot back. You can choose the same arm option or you can choose a different one wherever your body feels like hanging out, pulling the lower belly in, feeling the grounding in the front leg as we have the option to float the toe or actively extend through the back of the heel, the back of the head, maybe staying in the diagonal or drawing towards our parallel option. Continuing to breathe, finding that reach through our breath. Joints, finding just a little release. Reaching back to the front of our mat, expanding on our inhales, deep swan dive as we exhale, returning to all fours or downward dog, whichever feels like the best option at the moment. From either option, you can lengthen out one leg and then lengthen out the other leg. Healing, we'll stretch in our legs. We're feeling good reach today. Then we're moving into pigeon with our right leg. Option to stretch the right toes up, helping the right knee up towards the right wrist. Back knee can relax. We can tuck into the back toe. Let's walk our hands in. Feel the rib cage stretch open with the option to lift the throat and the chin to the sky. We can stay here or feel the diagonal lengthening through the back of the hips, the back of the head. We can exhale onto our elbows. And you're welcome to come neutral with our head resting in neutral. Or you can gaze towards the front bent knee, letting the side of the head relax there and feel just a little release through our breath. So wherever we're feeling a good place to find rest into our exhales. To release as we sink in to the ground, all of those extra sensations flowing out of our bodies with each exhale. Inhale, pulls our ribcage back open, walking our hands in, feeling that big lift in our lungs. Option to again take the chin towards the sky. As we plant the palms and the back toe, the front foot can reach back where we started from, wherever that was for our bodies. Then anytime we're ready to trade legs, having that option to lengthen out the left leg, helping the left knee head towards the left wrist. Back knee can relax where it landed. We can tuck into the back toe, feeling a little rest of our tailbone towards the ground. Maybe walking our hands in as we lift the ribs and maybe lift the throat and lift the chin towards the sky. We can continue here, or we can find neutral from the back of the head, the back of the tailbone, or relaxing a little closer to the ground. And then again, having the option to keep head and neck neutral or gaze towards the bent knee in the front, and the side of the head and neck relaxes anywhere feels comfortable today. Just a little stretch and release as we continue to find rest into our breath. Helping our bodies return our chest back open, feeling that reach through front side body, maybe lifting our throat and chin. Grounding our palms in the back toe, returning the front foot where it came from or wherever we're feeling like taking it at the moment. And we'll all find a moment to relax in our body's child's pose. Maybe keeping the fingertips stretching to the top of the mat, maybe stacking fists under our forehead, or sliding our fingertips back by our ankles, shoulders, ribs, feeling a little sinking release towards the thighs as we breathe, feeling rest through our breath. And our fingertips reach forward. Let's inhale, find our kneeling plank, creating our tall spine. Lift the lower belly, the ribs, the collarbone, and then slowly lower onto our belly. From here, we're going to rest our head in our hands or our forearm and feel just a moment to settle the front side of the body to the ground. So welcome to continue here. If it's available, we can slide our hands back to our lower back like we had in our beginning practice. You can stack the palms or just rest the hands on either hip. And then with our inhale, we're going to feel the collarbone lift and maybe one hand and elbow reach out. And then releasing, and we can stretch the other arm out and releasing. And you can gaze towards the fingertips, or you can continue to gaze forward. Let the body feel a few releasing breaths. And anytime we feel a little evenness, returning our head into our hands and continuing to relax through our shoulders, the ribs, the head, the neck. Or we can lift up into a Sphinx pose, sliding the elbows under the shoulders, shoulder blades pressing down the spine as the collarbone, the throat, and the chin press towards the front of the mat. We pick up that lower belly, supporting the lower back, finding that reach through our chest as we breathe. If it's available, having the option to pull the lower belly in and lift the hips up off the ground. Take a couple of breaths as we continue to stabilize the shoulders as we breathe. Then we'll relax the hips, slide our palms by our ribs, and pull through the lower belly to send our tailbone back into our body's child's pose. And we'll feel just a moment to breathe. The next inhale, we'll lift up our spine, send our tailbone to the side and our legs out ahead of us, and feel just a little flowing movement in our tailbone as we rock just a bit side to side and breathe. As our tailbone rests, maybe the toes reach tall, the shoulders relax as the ribs stretch up towards the sky. Then we'll inhale and feel the heart reaching up towards the sky. As we exhale, sliding the fingertips forward. As we inhale, lifting the spine back tall. Exhaling, stretching forward. Inhaling tall. Now the next time we stretch forward, we can just continue here, maybe lengthening through the back of the head, back of the tailbone, shoulder blades resting. Having the option to inhale the heart, throat forward, and exhale the heart, throat in. So you can feel just a little flowing movement or enjoying stillness and release wherever our bodies feel a good stretch today. And then we'll send the spine tall and the shoulders release. We can continue with legs straight, or we can slide the soles of the feet to any variation of butterfly or for that matter, any seated posture that you feel comfortable with. You want to return to easy seated pose. So we're going to lengthen up the spine, relax the shoulders, and then turn the ribs to one leg. Let the hands rest wherever it's comfortable. Feel the rib cage growing taller with each inhale, the rotation of the ribs with each exhale. We're going to start sending our chin and our gaze towards our back shoulder. And then keeping the rotation through the rib cage, we'll send our chin and our throat towards the front shoulder. And think about this back arm and the chin stretching in opposite directions. You feel a little bit more release in the neck as we breathe. And then as our chin returns to the back shoulder, we'll pull the body back to neutral and then lift and reach over to the other side. So we're lifting the ribs on the inhale, twisting the ribs as we exhale. Again, enjoying the stretch here. We can continue to gaze towards the back shoulder. We can slide the chin towards the front shoulder. And thinking about the back arm and the chin sliding in opposite directions as we feel that release through our neck as we breathe. And we'll return the chin towards the back shoulder and then slide the whole body back forward. For in butterfly, option to rock the hips side to side or with legs extended. You can do that as well, just with a little release in our tailbone. We're going to return to a forward fold of our choice, so we can stay tongue lifted. We can feel a diagonal back of the tailbone lengthening through the back of the head. We can fold the heart towards the toes, noticing just a moment to relax and rest through our breath. Getting those few releasing exhales, just wherever our bodies give us today, to find a little peace through the breath. And with our next inhale, sliding our spine tall, joining the knees and the feet at the front of the mat. We'll find grounding through our heels, lengthening through the spine, holding on or reaching out wherever our spine feels the most stable as we travel the shoulders towards the ground, lengthening our legs, heels reaching to the foot of the mat. Maybe the fingertips reach over the head. Option to think about our fingers and toes actively stretching in opposite directions. Or maybe we just relax the shoulders, relax the hips, and find a moment to breathe. A little sinking, releasing through each breath. And we're welcome to continue relaxing in this posture, just feeling our bodies release. We can begin to slide the heels in towards the hips and take a moment to feel the tailbone, the lower back, the ribs, the shoulders all pressed down into the floor, feeling a little ease and release through the spine. We're welcome to continue here. Our fingertips can travel towards the hips, maybe even wiggling our shoulder blades a little further towards each other to find the grounding through the spine. As we push through the forearms and the feet, we're going to think about moving our spine in segments. So as we inhale, maybe just lift the tailbone, and maybe lift the lower back, and maybe lift through the ribs, and feel grounding through the shoulders. Then we're welcome to release the same way we came in, but relaxing through the ribs, and the lower back, and the tailbone. So you're welcome to continue that flowing movement, tailbone, lower back, ribs, heart to the sky, heart, ribs, lower back, tailbone to the ground. You're welcome to stay tall and lifted with the thighs, hips, and heart opening to the sky. We're welcome to stay spine on the ground. So we'll take just a few deep breaths, continuing the movement or enjoying our stillness as we continue to stretch through the breath. Maybe just one more. Next time our spine feels the ground, resting just for a moment in stillness. Then we're welcome to slide our hands towards one thigh and pull that thigh towards our chest. We can can relax that foot down and then pull the other thigh towards the chest. You can relax that foot down and feel just the little flowing movement side to side. Thighs flowing in on one side, thighs flowing in on the other side. Just a little stretch side to side. Maybe one more each leg. And then anytime we feel comfortable, we can send our fingertips behind both thighs. And you can enjoy that release of the thighs into the rib cage, or inhaling thighs away from the body, exhaling thighs back into the body, and noticing a little relaxation in our spine as we flow, inhaling the thighs out, exhaling the thighs in. So we're welcome to continue this movement, or we can stretch the heels up to the sky and then pull the thighs towards the chest, heels up towards the sky, thighs towards the chest. We'll take just a few more breaths with the extension through the legs, or the knees staying in a bent posture, wherever your body's feeling the best about the movement today. And then as we hug our thighs gently towards the chest, we can enjoy the stillness of our spine on the ground, or add a little rocking movement with our spine side to side. Just a little stretch into our breath. Now we have the option to stay rocking side to side, or we can stack knees over hips, knees and toes reach towards each other. So our forearms and our lower back press into the ground. We can take the knees to the left as we gaze to the right, and then back tall. Knees to the right as we gaze to the left. Reaching back tall, keep grounding through the shoulders and the forearms, continuing that stability in the spine. If moving the neck isn't feeling stable, just move the legs wherever our bodies feel our best stretch today. And we can keep the movement flowing side to side, or maybe let the knees fall to the left, gazing to the right. And if we found too many extra sensations in this top leg, we can send the top thigh up to the sky. Or if we're needing more sensation, our hands can pull our thighs closer towards the ground. We get to choose, feeling the stretch that feels the best today, creating rest and peace through our exhales. Enjoying this stretch, we can continue here, or using those abdominal muscles, returning our spine flat on the ground, or trading sides, sending our knees to the right, gazing to the left. If it felt better to continue a flowing movement, you can keep flowing thighs side to side. If we've landed on one side and we're feeling too many extra sensations on this upper thigh, we can lift the top thigh closer to the sky, or for more sensations, grounding that top thigh closer towards the floor. Allowing our breath to bring peace wherever we might be finding any extra sensations today, allowing rest and release through each breath. Bodies return into our neutral spine, hugging our thighs back into the chest to stay, or maybe adding some big circling movements with our knees on the ceiling, rolling through our tailbone, through our lower back. Maybe trading that direction of our circle, continuing to breathe. We're sending our feet wide, option to add some windshield wipery movements, thighs traveling to one side, thighs traveling to the other side, rolling through the tailbone, lower back, towards the outer hips. Our bodies can continue our windshield wipery movements. Our bodies can move into any other stretch. We're needing an extra release continue the windshield wipering movements, or if it feels okay, maybe keeping the feet wide and the knees together. From here, if you'd like to find maybe a little baby fish pose, you can send the hands over the hips. Option to just tilt the head and send the chin to the sky, or push through the forearms and lift the ribs and the collarbone along with the throat and the chin towards the sky, and the top of the head just gently relaxes on the ground. Taking a few breaths here in the fish, or just enjoying that constructive rest posture with our legs. If we found that little fish movement, we can return the chin back to neutral, the spine to the ground, maybe sliding the soles of the feet together and our knees opening wide into a reclined butterfly, enjoying a little passive relaxation in our hips and our thighs as we breathe. We can continue for our final relaxation in that constructive rest or the reclined butterfly, or we can lengthen out our legs towards straight, maybe palms and feet opening towards the ceiling, checking in with our shoulder blades, allowing peace in our shoulders, our head, and our neck. So we return to the belly breathing we created at the beginning of class. Inhaling the abdominals towards the sky. Exhaling the abdominals into the lower back towards the ground. Feeling that expansion as we inhale. Feeling that release as we exhale. Resting and relaxing into our breath. Enjoying stillness or welcoming any movements that our body is craving. Continuing our breath into our hands and our feet. Feeling release through our wrists, our ankles. Relaxing through the lower legs, the lower arms. Breathing through our knees, our elbows, our thighs, our hips, the upper arms, and shoulders. Creating that relaxation as we breathe through our spine, resting through our tailbone, the lower back, the ribs, the shoulders, the neck, the back of the head. Continuing as we are in stillness, option return the thighs back into the chest to be still, maybe even adding a few circling movements with our knees on the ceiling. You're welcome to trade that direction of the circle. Maybe flowing just a bit side to side, and option to relax over onto our side for a few calming, peaceful breaths as we travel in. Those calming, relaxing, restful breaths from one side, pushing out anything we just don't need through the other side, down in towards the ground. Just a couple of breaths here as we feel rest and peace through the body as we breathe. We'll end up grounding into our palms, helping our bodies return to our comfortable seated option. Whichever feels the best, elbow resting, spine growing tall, shoulders relaxing. Sliding our chin to one shoulder, gazing behind us. Take a moment to relax into the shoulders. And then slowly moving over towards the other side, shoulders relaxing, chin releasing. And then as we feel neutral, we can send an ear to the shoulder, maybe the opposite arm stretches away. We can come back tall and rest over to the other side. Maybe the opposite arm reaches away. Then we come back to the center, releasing our shoulder blades. Let's flow the fingertips and the chin towards the sky. Exhaling, resting chin and thumbs to the heart. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, relaxing down. Finding one more breath together. Let's open as we inhale. Relax through the exhales. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining me. Have such an awesome, relaxed neck for the rest of the day.